Hey traders, Ethan Roberts here from Mastering TQQQ Trading. You know, one of the worst things that a trader can do is to overtrade, because there's only so many times that we're going to have a really good setup and be correct in our assessments. So when you start overtrading too much, that's when the trouble begins. Today I'm going to talk to you about 10 times that I just refuse to make a trade at all and how that helps my total portfolio. Right here on Mastering TQQQ Trading. Well, wouldn't it be fun if we had $1 billion and we could just trade TQQQ 30 or more times per day as it goes up and down, in and out, and we'd be, just sometimes we'd win, sometimes we'd lose, and who would care? Wouldn't that be fun? Nah. Overtrading blows up your account no matter how much money you have or you don't have, and it's just not worth it. If you really want to win the TQQQ trading game, you have to be selective. And this is even more true if we're in a down market or TQQQ is pulling back, as it had been of late, at least last week before the last day or two. Before we go further, please like and subscribe to my channel. And the links for both Mastering TQQQ Trading Daily Newsletter and my trading course, an 8-hour complete course, both links can be found in the first comment below the video. So now here are all the times that I decide not to trade. Number 1, when TQQQ gaps up at the opening. And when I say gap up, I mean we're going to have at least a $2 to $3 move. You can see right here, this is the end of the trading day, and this is the beginning of the next trading day right here. Look at the gap between. And the thing about gaps is they always manage to fill back. Okay, and here was no exception. If you go chasing this first candlestick and trying to get in near the top, you're going to get whacked. This one pulled back, tried to rally a little, could not surpass the high of the first candlestick, and it was down, 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 way down after that. So really, when TQQQ gaps up at the opening, the best thing you can do usually is just to wait. Now, the second time that I refuse to trade is when the RSI 2 or stochastic indicators are extremely overbought. And in this particular slide, you can see that the RSI was way up here around 95, 96, somewhere like that. And it was way overbought. And if you decide that you're going to buy TQQQ at that point, you're going to be in for a nasty pullback. Now, this is really true of most stocks or ETFs anyway, but it's even more pronounced with the TQQQ because of the 3 times leverage. So we don't want to do that. And the same is true here. This is a picture of the stochastic in a very overbought area, up around 90 or so. And it was reaching highs here and then just pulled back for a couple of days. And again, if you get in really way up at the top, you're going to get clobbered. So I refuse to trade when it's up there. Now here's the third time that I refuse to trade. When the 8-period exponential moving average first crosses below the 20-period simple moving average. Now, those of you who have seen my videos before, you know that I use the 8-period EMA and the 20-period SMA as my 2 moving averages. So it all looks great when the 8 is above the SMA, 20-period SMA, but as soon as we come down here, you might think, well, it's pulled back a little bit, maybe I can get in, but no, sir. Watch how far back down we're going to go. So as soon as that cross under occurs, that's when you say, no thank you, I will not make a trade. The fourth time when I refuse to make a trade is when indicators are falling from the overbought area into the neutral zone, but then they continue falling. See, it's a long way down on this stochastic from 90 something all the way down to 10 or 15 or even sometimes it goes to 0, and the stocks can really come down a long way when that happens. So when it starts falling and it falls below the 80 and is down in the 70s or the 60s, just hang back and wait, because chances are, even if you get a little bump or two, 1 or 2 days, you're going lower. So we just want to wait until that stochastic indicator is completely oversold before we make our trade. Now here's the fifth time when I refuse to make a trade. When TQQQ is declining amid a series of lower highs and lower lows. And I've got this area circled here so you can see that when it falls here, and now keep in mind that also the 8 is below the 20, and so this was a negative day. We have lower low, lower high here, lower low, lower high here, here, all the way until we get to the very bottom here. And at that point, I wish there had been a double bottom, but there wasn't. It did come back though, and then the second green candle was higher. So that was a point where you could have bought in. But you certainly don't want to be a buyer in through this whole section here, and I don't either. Now the sixth time that I refuse to make a trade is right before we have a big stock like Nvidia or Microsoft in the NASDAQ 100 and they're about to release quarterly earnings. Why don't I like to make a trade then? Because it's very risky. Okay, I might day trade, but I'm not going to hold anything over. There's been plenty of times when we've seen headlines like the two here, Nvidia stock sinks more than 8% as earnings beat leaves investors yawning. Well, Microsoft stock sinks on report that AI product sales are missing growth goals. I know that a lot of these stocks will beat earnings and it'll go higher, and I'm willing to sit that out because it's better to sit it out than to take a big loss on a day when TQQQ maybe it falls 5 or 6%. So I know we just had a big earnings report come in on micro technology. Micron went up about 10 or 11%. The NASDAQ rallied a lot, but I still refuse to trade until I have that earnings in the rearview mirror. Now the seventh time when there's no reason to trade at all is when there's an extremely negative headline that day. And we've seen some of these in the past 5 years. Trump unveils sweeping 10% tariff and reciprocal tariffs on dozens of nations. That one made the stocks go down. WHO declares COVID-19 a pandemic. You all know what happened then. Peace in Europe shattered as Russia invades Ukraine. U.S. inflation at 9.1%, a record high. When we get a headline like that, forget it. Just lay back and let TQQQ do its thing for the next couple of days or even weeks, because we are heading a lot lower. There are times when the NASDAQ 100 may sell off because it's a little bit overbought, a little overextended, but those are usually temporary and not that deep. But when we have headlines like you see here, that's when we're going to get a big correction, and we don't want to be trading against that. And now on a more personal note, the eighth time I will not make a trade is if I don't feel well. And you should do the same, okay? There's no way that you can focus, there's no way that you can trade well when you're sick and when you're not feeling well. Or how about those times when for one reason or another you don't get any sleep and you get up and it's near market time and you're rubbing your eyes and your head is foggy and 3 cups of coffee just isn't doing the trick? That is not a good day to trade. So let's forget all about that. And here's another time when I won't make a trade, when there's too many life distractions. You know, the phone is ringing, you're getting texts, The yard guy is here looking for his money. And, there's just too much going on. Maybe the kids are in the background hooping and hollering because they've got the day off from school. Maybe your wife is aggravated or your husband is giving you a hard time. When there's too many life distractions, that is just not a good time to be making trades. And number 10, if I lose several trades in a row, and I kind of look like this fellow if I do, that's the time to take a break. Sit back, relax, go get them the next day or take 2 days off. The market's still going to be there. You're still going to be a great trader. You're still going to be loving life with TQQQ, but you need to take a break and just get away from it for a little while. Don't make a trade. So these are the 10 times that I refuse to make trades. Or I just simply might have something better to do that day, just like this fella here. And the market will still be there the next day. So go out, have some fun, relax, enjoy life, and you'll come back and get TQQQ tomorrow. Well, this is Ethan Roberts from Mastering TQQQ Trading saying, have a great week. Don't forget to check out my newsletter and my course. They're both in the comments. Thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. And have a great week. I will see you next time.